This is the Titans High School Quiz. Welcome back.
I recognize the presence of the judges, the sponsors, the distinguished guests, all the institutions around. Ladies and gentlemen, a good evening. My name is Kugonza Mary, a student at Restoration High School, Nakulabye. It is rightly said that a speech becomes well if the tongue speaks what the heart feels. So I am here to talk about building a corruption-free Uganda. Oh yes, it is possible. In one aspect or the other, we all have we have come across the word corruption. According to political ideology, corruption is a form of dishonest or criminal offense undertaken by a person or organization entrusted with position of authority to acquire personal benefits. It seems lengthy and confusing, right? Most simply, corruption is a dishonest behavior practiced by authorities such as managers, government officials, school officials, and so many others. This is how people with power rule the world, thereby violating certain people's rights and privileges. It is said that time changes everything, but look, has corruption changed? The unsatisfying term hasn't changed till now. It's still prevalent. Gone are the days when bribes were given when things were wrong. Presently, bribes are given to cover up right stuffs. May it be a minor issue or a life-threatening one, a young child or an adult, a school-going to a working person, everyone has seen and fallen to play of corruption. These days, even if a person isn't qualified enough for a public sector, he can quickly get it by spending money or bribing the higher officials. Well, what is a speech on corruption without some examples? So, here are some of which you must have experienced in our Uganda today. Have you ever applied for your or your child's admission in a reputed college? You can observe in a few of these reputed colleges that if you aren't eligible for the position, you can pay for bribe and then you are eligible. Is it right? But this is the sad truth these days. From getting admission from reputed colleges to being elected with numerous votes, everything, unless more minor or more ways, is induced with corruption. But the most significant and worst type of corruption is political corruption. In legal terms, political corruption, all mal politics uses power by government officials or the network contacts by illegitimate private value of the law that governs and regulates society, creating a massive mess in the country. Now you all might be thinking that this happens only in well-established and sophisticated cities, but that is not the case. It occurs in the whole of Uganda. Metropolitan cities, towns, and villages are all part of this evil, and it is the common man that gets unnecessarily trapped in the evil game. Any speech on corruption can never be complete without looking at the causes of corruption. We often hear people saying, everything happens for a reason. Yes, this states that everything happening around us is driven by a strong force or motivation behind it. In the same way, corruption also has some hidden behind it. Enlisted are the causes of corruption: greed of money, poverty, lack of values and ethics, lack of education, higher level of bureaucracy, political instability. Thank you.
This is the Titans High School quiz.
It is bad in the history of North, South, East, and West. Stories contain that affigured vocabulary, corrupt. What scholars and doctors of philosophy figured it and witnessed it, put it on pen and paper. What a terrible thunder corruption seems to be. I, with great humility and gratitude, recognize our lovely judges, the entire audience I have tonight. Before you is Nancy Daisy, a student from the mighty institution, Kinaawa High School, Kawempe campus. Corruption-free Uganda. The people who saw the moon before we did said, corruption is like a rolling ball, one set never ran after. But again, we had a call from the mighty George Bernard whispering that the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. We are here to seize that illusion in our mindsets. The reason as to why we are not fighting corruption is because of the mindset we are having, that corruption cannot be foregone. But we are here as the Kinaawa fraternity to tell you that corruption can be abandoned. Corruption can be overcome. Corruption is a cancer that is eating man, a cancer that diminishes the instinct for a young citizen, the innovation and creativity that young generation would have gone with. The very root cause of this has lately been our nations about it. We have been tranquil to a large extent. Let's get audacious. Let's stand up and raise our voices against this. Our cry as the Kinaawa High School would be tonight, what about if we see laws that facilitate government funds being passed? Remember, one of the great scholars, Edward Snowden, told us, there can be no faith in government if the highest offices are executed from scrutiny. They should be setting the example of transparency. In this, what do I insinuate? In this, I mean, we can stop waste of public funds. We are seeing public funds heavily wasted. We are seeing the money of the poor Ugandan being wasted. How is it wasted? You're seeing ministers of parliament being given free cars, moreover the most expensive. They're earning 20 million per month. On top of that, they're getting allowances for every meeting they sit in for. And beyond that, I was surprised when they told me they are given free fuel. My Ugandans, fellow Ugandans, is it what's the money of the money that is imposed heavily from the poor Ugandan? Is that really the great use of the money that is imposed? We are seeing our mothers, our fathers, our sisters and brothers being caned by the KCCA over there in Kampala. But then you're telling me that tax that is being imposed heavily is being used for that. We can please overcome this by setting laws that facilitate government money. We can evolve exemplary leaders. What do I mean by evolving exemplary leaders? We can train a new generation because, you know, if these people have failed, let us train our young generation. We're from the baby and top class monitresses. We can bring them up when they have that negative attitude towards corruption. Because everyone has seen what corruption has caused to our country, Uganda. Everyone is aware of what corruption is. Everyone is aware of how corruption has led us. Uganda wouldn't have been among the third world countries. Uganda would be among the best because we are seeing all minerals being explored from our motherland. My motherland, I'm not going to allow this. I deliberately say I'm not allowing corruption. Please join me in the stand. Furthermore, we can improve and diversify economy. We are seeing Uganda's economy dwell so much on the agriculture. Why agriculture? Is that the only alternative? Isn't our parliament of Uganda seeing that tourism? What about if they opted for the mining industry? What about the fishing? But Uganda is rich. My motherland is rich. I call upon the government to take a stand in this. I call upon all my fellow Ugandans. Let us stand up and fight for our motherland. Because I know it's not only my motherland, but your motherland too. We can all take a stand in this. Remember, if corruption is a disease, transparency is the central part of its treatment by Kofi Annan. As David Cameron said that, the evil of corruption reaches to every corner of the world. It lies at the heart of the most urgent problems we face. Thank you.
This is the Titans High School Quiz.
My name is Asimwe Nancy.
And my name is Nantale Tracy.
We are students from Restoration High School. Settle and listen. We are here to recite a poem on the theme
Building a corrupt-free Uganda.
entitled
Chaos.
I admit it's yearned for with it you have a lot. I admit your general rule, but practitioners of corruption are fools. But you yourself may serve to show it that pretenders are also fools.
I live to serve, you claim, yet driven by greed, hence practicing extortion and blackmail. How outrageous.
Accompanying fellow betrayers, you imprison and kill truth displayers, proving that birds of the same feathers flock together. Oh, how shameless of you to stand up in a multitude and declare the rise of the economy due to the damages caused by embezzlement. In fact, damages caused by you.
True, corruption is calm, but slowly seeks what to eat, and devours it slowly once it gets it. As life leads to death, power also leads the downfall of many. True, as blind as a weak soul.
Because you skive, many have died, and their blood is counted on you. So prepare, for what goes round comes round. You will pay the price for the chaos you've caused.
Be aware, hypocrites are what we have as leaders. Let's glitch to hinder the work of these hypocrites. Let's rise up to build a glamorous country.
Either way, even snails finally reach their destinations. Can't man do so?
Can't man do so?
Why claim survival for the fittest and forget that a bundle is made by one?
Don't hang fire, but fall with the building of our country, because soon a small link will sink a great ship and you'll all be relieved.
Thank you.
This is the Titans High School Quiz.
I'm Komagum Brian from Kinaawa High School, representing a poem about corruption-free Uganda. A corruption-free Uganda.
A Uganda without corruption.
Imagine a Uganda without corruption. This is all that we need. Imagine how this would be. Corruption is like a snowball set rolling and had to be stopped. Corruption is an illegal behavior, mostly participated by the elders in government, people who have no sense or vision of our country, people with self-desires, not minding of the people that are dying on the streets day and night, people that are dying due to lack of enough facilitated hospitals. Let's stand firm and fight corruption. In search for more wealth, our country dies a slow death. Let's fight corruption.
And exemplary are the leaders we have. Blindfolded by money they are. Shattered is our economy because of the low currency value we have. Extravagant is our government about the public funds got from poor man's hard work, leaving the new leaders with no option but to join the crippled system. All this leading to a deadly virus known as corruption. And exemplary are the leaders we have. Blindfolded by money they are. Shattered is our economy because of the low currency value we have. Extravagant is our government about the public funds got from poor man's hard work, leaving the new leaders with no option but to join the crippled system. All this leading to a deadly virus known as corruption. Indeed, hopeful and cheerful seem the poor in those they trustedly voted, but unaware they are of the wolf in sheep's skin, feasting on their sweat from the inside. Indeed, our country dies a slow death.
A corruption-free Uganda. A continuous war that emerges between money and the nation. Betrayed I am as I look at the corrupt nation. Guilty and sinful they are, gaining what they didn't work for as their hobby. Breaking down our economy bit by bit, lowering the development rates as their pockets fatten, limiting the investment levels as the poor are left jobless. having connections rather than having qualifications, and the national budget indirectly as their luxury budget. As the rich in power are getting richer, as the pleas of the poor intensify, indeed our country dies a slow death.
Corruption is like a game of chess, where the kings are the glutton authors of the state. The moon sets with more wealth on them, as the sun rises with the pawns, getting poorer and poorer. And as they break down to their graves, the omegas look in their eyes, with hunger for more. Indeed, our country dies a slow death.
I'm afraid of the hungry alpha. I'm afraid that I stand alone in the blood war. I'm afraid that the enemy is stronger than I, but my country, Uganda, is dear to me. The fight against corruption might look like an infinity war, but the end game is the last chapter. The chapter where Uganda stands to be free. The chapter I'll stand proudly to say, for God and my country, for God and my country.
This is the Titans High School quiz.
Restoration High School, you have 50%. Kinaawa High School is known for having very many schools. Mugongo campus, Kawempe campus, and which other campus? And Kasangat campus. And it has scored 65%. The competition is very, very good. And since we are live on air, we have to appreciate your parents, your administration, and your respective guardians for allowing you come and be part of this.
The Titans High School quiz